Yeah,
LinkedIn Live together?
it is. It is. Yeah, the first one.
Info. I don't think we've done a LinkedIn Live.
No, I think we
Have we?
did not. No, but I mean, besides LinkedIn, we're also live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch. So,
Wow.
multiple platforms live.
Wow, look at that. Well, for everybody that's tuning in, hi, my name is Lacey. I'm one of the co-founders and CEO here at Metaintro. And today we also have Alex. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Of course, yes. So my name is Alex. I'm Chief of Staff at Metaintro, and I'm very excited for today's event.
Yeah. So we get a ton of resumes sent to us every day from people in the Web3 space that are actively looking for work. And we decided, hey, why not just do like a general resume feedback session where we take some resumes from across the interweb and kind of dissect it and help Web3ify it. So all of the tips, tricks that we're giving out, take everything with a grain of salt. Every resume is different. Every resume and experiences and see the Discord community and also as a company that just went. Anything to add to that, Alex, or do you want to jump in?
You know what? Yes, I would like to. I just want to just clarify that we're looking at people that are applying for business development roles, analysts, business developers, marketing roles. Developers' resumes will look different. There's
Mm-hmm.
exceptions for developers' resumes because, for instance, for developers, it is okay to have more than one page of their resume. But for business development roles, it's better to have, one-page resume. This is kind of the industry format that I would, suggest following. And today we're actually looking
Mm-hmm.
at resumes that we received at Meta Intro, and those resumes were sent to us to a analyst role. And just keep that in mind, because first of all, we'll be able to say why, for example, this resume would be, a good fit for us or not a good fit for us as well. Just, going from the experience and, where would we invite this person for an interview, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
Just go from there.
I'm excited. Okay. So this, so to be clear, for everybody that's listening in, the resume, we're going to be going through a few different resumes, but the resume we have up on screen right now is for somebody that applied to the analyst role, right?
That is correct, yes. And all of the ones that we will be showing today, those are people that apply for the analyst role.
Sweet.
I found that they were great examples. So we blocked the top. The top part just had the name of the person and their LinkedIn handle, and just basic information. Just looking at this resume, the first thing that I can see that okay, that's it. I like that they have a small summary of their achievements on the top, which that's good. But I would honestly keep it a little bit shorter than that. What do you think, Lacey?
Yeah, let's see. Okay, so detail-oriented professional with 6+ years of experience and proven knowledge of account development to achieve customer satisfaction while evaluating growth strategies using strong research and strategic analysis skills. What they did do well in this first sentence is saying how many years of experience they have. I think that's great.
Yeah.
And that adding the buzzwords like customer satisfaction and growth, because a good biz dev job seeker knows that customer success is directly correlated with company growth. So I think for this, this, even reading through the second sentence, as a Web3 company, if I was looking at this and I'm actively thinking about hiring this individual, I would personally would have loved to see passion for Web3 right up top. I think that's really important in this space, is to convey that. So even if we took something along the lines of like detail-oriented professional with 6+ years of experience in customer satisfaction and company growth, comma, advocate for crypto Twitter, and loves PFP projects. You know, something, you know, that was also a little bit personal, I think, up top, that directly says, hey, customer service, hey, also Web3, also culture-wise, like, I'm in crypto Twitter, I am, you know, actively engaged in the ecosystem as a fan, or as a hobby enthusiast. I think that would be more important to me. And you could fit that, like, you could convey that in 1 to 2 sentences.
Yeah, or maybe you participated in a hackathon and you,
Totally.
I mean, you have some connection with Web3 industry, just, you know, put it in there because specifically, you know, this person did apply for Web3 jobs. So, you know, this is something that we would expect for them
Yeah.
to have.
Let's see, what was the second sentence? Successful track record of SaaS and sales accompanied by a proven record of target. Yeah, like, if you have a successful track record, I feel like this sentence is fluff because I would be able to quickly see that in the bullet points underneath your experience section. You know, like putting those KPIs, which we'll get to in a minute, can go a long way and allow your resume to speak for itself. I don't think that sentence is necessary. Let's see, I take pride in cultivating relationships by developing pipelines utilizing CRM such as Salesforce and Pipedrive. I think that's good. Like, if he's applying, or he or she or they are applying to a customer service job that's focused like on Salesforce or Pipedrive, you know, like that's, you know, that's great to keep up top.
Yeah, but the biggest question for me, for example, if the person is applying for an analyst role, and especially since I mean, we're hiring a senior analyst,
Yeah.
the first, I mean, just the beginning of the resume does not show that this person is a senior analyst or doing any, you know, real analytical jobs.
Yeah.
Which, you know, is a red flag for us, you know, in terms of if we're passing this, you know, candidate to the next stage or not. Okay, so let's dive into the professional experience.
This resume doesn't, this resume doesn't fit the analyst role, period.
Yeah. But let me try to make it just a little bigger. Okay, there we go. Okay, so business developer, manager, drive annual sales and revenue targets for defined territory. I mean, again, that's good, that business development, but again, this is not, and that has nothing to do with analytics. I mean, this specific role that the person was doing does not have anything to do with analytics. I mean, that's great that you know how to drive, you know, sales metrics, which, I mean, ROI and everything, but this nothing has to do with, you know, the job that you're applying for. In this case, I mean, I just want to make a small suggestion here. I'm not sure if this person is watching us right now, but, you know, if you're trying, for example, if you're a business developer and you're trying to apply for different roles such as analysts, maybe, you know, social media marketing, try to make three separate resumes, so each one will be targeted for a specific position. When you're sending this resume, would be great for a business developer or an account manager or sales manager, you know, but not for an analyst.
Yeah. I think with this as well, like, these are all great. I would put the third bullet point, successfully acquired X amount in sales pipeline value within the first quarter. That would be probably my first bullet point on this, especially with customer service and biz dev. I feel like focusing heavily on KPIs within the bullet points helps your resume stand out, because it shows like, hey, not only was I, like, you know, employed by these people, but or this company, but I was also fundamentally interested in tracking the growth and my success by the numbers. And these are numbers that I'm proud of and that I'm proud to share. And like, this is what I can do. So if this was me, I would probably bump that third bullet point up to the top, just because it's something to be super proud of. So let that shine, because that also pretty much says the same thing as bullet point number 1, drive annual sales and revenue targets for a defined territory. You know, you could squeeze that into that third bullet point and say, successfully acquired X in sales pipeline value within the first quarter across X territory.
Yeah, and also for this, you know, for this job, I mean, and I think for all of the next ones too, what I would decrease the amount of bullet points. Just too many things for an HR recruiter to or hiring manager to read, because recruiters, hiring managers, they usually spend about 30 seconds maximum on a resume, and if there's too much information, I mean, too much information on it, they might just skip it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I would just make three, really, or maybe four strong bullet points that will
Yeah.
just what you did, your achievements, biggest achievements.
Yeah.
And,
I
um,
agree. Biggest
well,
achievements, and also here I see maintain strong SaaS product knowledge of a full technical solution suite, integration points, and competitor slash 3D party offerings. You should totally. I don't know what that means because I'm not in biz dev per se. It would be awesome here if you can instead list the tools, even
yeah,
if you relist it in the like skills section. I think it's good emphasis, like to show, hey, not only am I listing this as a skill on my resume, but this is how I used it and in what capacity. I think that would be helpful.
yeah, 100%. Because when you list a skill in your skills
Yeah.
section, you don't have it anywhere within your resume. I mean, nobody knows if you actually had, hands-on experience
Mm-hmm.
using those, platforms, and you actually know how to use it, because you can go and do a fast course of like, few weeks on different websites that will give you a certificate that you know how to use it. But the problem is you have never used it, like hands-on experience. You never
Mm-hmm.
had it. When somebody gives you a task, you need to do it.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Next
so let's
section.
go to the yeah, and pretty sure. Well, I mean, the other sections will be similar. When I look at this resume, the first question as a hiring manager that I have is, why did this person change jobs every single year? And I mean, you didn't see this resume before. I did take a look before our
Mm-hmm.
call. And if you will look, just talking about how I mean, so January 2017 till February 2018, that's about a
Yeah.
little bit over a year.
All of these are a year.
February 18 to 19, yeah. December 19 to February 20, February 22, May 2021. So all of them are about a year. The question that a
Yeah.
hiring manager would ask you, why are you changing jobs so frequently? Like, what's going on? Because for every hiring manager, when they hire you, they will spend their time and resources to get you onboarded, and they want you to stay there, as much
Mm-hmm.
as possible if you're doing a good job. But if they see that there's areas that you will leave in 1 year, this might, be an issue. And yeah, I mean, so we can just spend more time on other resumes. What I want to say about this one is, you could take some of the experience out, especially if you're applying for a Web3 job as an analyst. I would take out, for example, this one, business aviation flight attendant. I don't think it
Yeah.
has
Not
anything to
necessary.
do with even like business development role in general.
Mm-hmm.
Even as an account manager, this is,
Yeah.
you can just take it out. It is not needed. Just taking
Yeah.
up space.
Yeah.
Corporate account executive, hair replacement. Okay, that's, again, if you're applying for a business development role, account manager,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that should be okay. Like
Yeah.
luxury travel attendant, I'm not sure that is even needed.
Yeah.
Just, it's irrelevant experience.
I think this is a. I think it's those two, the flight attendant and the luxury travel attendant. I think those are more fun facts. When you'll have an opportunity in your interview to talk about yourself,
Yeah,
um, and a good way to stand out is to have some good fun facts. And so with this, instead of listing it in your resume, instead you can say, "Oh, and I've also been to X amount of countries because I took a gap year in between companies to travel," because that's probably where this comes from. Not only were they a flight attendant once, but they were in the travel industry before that. So
yeah,
this says they have a passion for travel and they've probably been to incredible places around the world. So save that for the fun fact. That will help you stand out in your interview because that's something that I would remember.
yeah. That's
Um, yeah.
so.
Okay. So
Yeah, let's go
education
down.
section.
Yeah, education. Okay, so I mean, we have university. That's great. I mean, it's very important to have an educational section in your resume, so
Hmm.
people will know
Yeah.
your background. Key skills. To be honest, I would expand this list by a lot, because first of all, key skills: account management. Account management, it is a skill, but I would suggest adding, platforms they use. When you
Hmm.
are an account manager, there's a lot.
Yep.
Which CRM systems did you use, and so on. Because this way, a hiring manager will see that, for example, you're familiar, for instance, with Salesforce, CRM system. If they're using
Yeah.
Salesforce, that's going to be a plus for them, because they'll be like, okay, this
Yeah.
guy, will be easier to onboard. And
Hmm.
such, business intelligence, product management. Yeah, I mean that's great, but again, add some tools that you were using when you were working for that,
Yeah.
or maybe some proofs, something.
I think also to Web3ify this area a little bit more. In your education section, it's also great to list any Web3 educational resources you've gone through, whether that's like Rabbit Hole, Learn Web3. I mean, there's so many of them. Have you taken a boot camp? Are you self-taught? If so, what kind of courses did you go through? This is a really good area in your resume to showcase your learning within Web3 and where you've learned from and where your credentials are from. So I would add that into the education section. And then for key skills, I would also add some Web3 tooling. I don't know, I take that back. There are a ton of like Web3 CRM platforms that are out there. I've seen quite a few of them. If you're applying to the Web3 space and you want to be in biz dev or customer service, like you should probably know some of those platforms and you should list that. You'll most likely be doing some of your work on Discord. I list Discord here. Telegram, and the list goes on. But key skills, you should get a little bit more specific with this too, like Alex was just saying. Instead of database management, what platforms? Instead of project management, what platforms? Is it Trello? Is it Linear? Is it Shortcut? Where is your training and in what platforms? And then business intelligence, again, super broad. This is a great opportunity to go in a little bit deeper with business intelligence. What tools, what analytics tools do you know? Are they Web3 centric? Also, other key skills. Are you like a crypto degen? Totally list that. That's fun. You should take the opportunity to list some funky things here as well. It's a great way to get your resume to stand out.
Yeah, that's for sure. And also just kind of the last
Mhm.
thing, I'm gonna look at this resume. Can kind of make it smaller. This one is
Yeah.
actually one
And we
page.
got somebody that chatted us.
That is what?
Yeah, that's one page.
Yeah, it's one page. So I mean that's a
This
plus.
is
That's a plus. Okay, let's go to the next one. Give me 1 second. Let me.
also somebody just chatted, how do I send in my resume for review? We will probably be doing this frequently, maybe like twice a month, maybe just on different topics, or sorry, not different topics, different types of resumes. So we'll find a way to allow submissions. But for now, if you want your resume reviewed, you can open up a ticket in our Discord. There's a channel called Resume Review, and you'll get personalized feedback on your resume for free. So just hop into our Discord and you'll see that channel.
Yeah,
All
for
right.
example, yesterday we had a great event talking about LinkedIn, how to stand out,
Mm-hmm.
how to make your LinkedIn better. And, a few people actually reached out to me and they sent me their resumes
Oh, that's
and the
great.
pages, yeah, just to kind of go over and see how can we make it better. And if,
Very
the
cool.
resume fits, the LinkedIn page, and I
Right.
always love, helping people. So if there's anyone who, needs help, just reach out to me on Discord and I'd love
Right.
to give you a review for your resume. Okay, so our second resume, let's check it out. Okay, curious and motivated data analyst. Okay, so again, this one is also for data analysts. So that's already a plus. That in the first sentence, the person mentioned the word
Yeah.
analyst. Data with over 10 years experience in administrative and customer service roles, dedicated to using data for public goods.
Mm-hmm.
The first sentence, not bad. I mean, honestly, not bad because included data analyst, included how many years
Yeah.
experience. That's a plus because I will not. I mean, I will go over actual job experience
Mm-hmm.
later, but this gives me a good understanding of how many years the person was on the market. Um, Maybe on this first sentence, I would also add something about Web3.
Yeah.
I mean, since you're applying to Web3 company, this would be great to shine here. Maybe you were also, you just did a hackathon on, a great
Mm-hmm.
topic included there, or maybe you're passionate about NFTs and you can just say, super passionate about, Web3 NFTs, adoption of Web3 or something, crypto, anything within those lines. What do you
Yeah.
think?
I echo that. And also something that we didn't cover in the last resume, since it's also blacked out here, so you can't see it. But in your top section where you have your first and last name, your email address, your phone number, feel free to include your Twitter handle, your LinkedIn handle, your Discord username. I think when you add those, again, it shows that like you're leaning into the industry a little bit. It shows that like, things are happening on Discord, that you should be on Twitter. So take that opportunity as well to put it in there. I also encourage people, depending on where in the world you are and the type of jobs that you're applying to, instead of listing your country, especially if you're applying to like local jobs, I think that's great. But with global jobs, I would encourage you to list your the time zones that you're willing to work in instead. This way, HR recruiters don't write you off right away because they know that you're in a completely different time zone and it'd be tough to work on the same schedule. So I think that's an issue within our industry that hiring managers and companies are still working on in terms of identifying whether remote local or remote global is best suited for their company. So all that's to say, personal recommendation is to list the time zones over your location.
Yeah, I love the time zones because people are working remotely right now, and the main office headquarter can be in a totally different zone, 12 hours ahead, and that can be an issue. So just always include it. Make sure that at least the hiring manager is aware that you're located, let's say in Europe and they're located in the US. Just makes it a little bit simpler. Okay, so let's go to sentence number 2. Skilled at collaborating with teams to find solutions to difficult problems. Well, I mean, it's not bad. What do you think about it?
Yeah. This individual is trying to convey that they're a team player.
Yeah.
That's very clear.
Yeah.
You could take out this sentence right here and add it to the top sentence and say, I think personally for me, like as a hiring manager, curiosity is an amazing trait to have in a job seeker or a candidate. So I wouldn't remove curious. I would say like curious, motivated, and team player with over 10 years of experience. Like you could mush that into the top sentence if you wanted to.
Yeah, it will just make it a little bit shorter than it is right now, which is good. Okay, interested in working with entrants, forming complex data sets into accurate reports to provide meaningful insights. I like it because this is a data analyst role. You really see that the person is passionate about it and loves analyzing data.
Yeah, I love it. My eyes, when I look at this resume, immediately goes down to the technical skills section. I see a lot of people do this in their resume. It's kind of this quick, like, here's just a quick bullet points of what I know and what you're most likely looking for. Like, let's get to the point of this conversation is you want to know if I know Python and SQL, and like, that's why I'm listing it right here. So I like this. I like how this is laid out.
Me too. I love it. Because when I was looking for an analyst, I needed to make sure that the person has the following skills, and actually they're here. The first one, Python, SQL. I mean, this is like Tableau also great, but Python and SQL, that was a must for this role, and that's great when I pull up the resume and it's right there in front of me.
Yeah. Okay. All right, so hopping down to the experience section.
Let's do it. Okay, so it's HR and administrative analysts. I like that there's not so many bullet points.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes it clear.
I like the format of this. You'll see this resume versus the last resume. This one has the date and the location separated on the right-hand side, and then the title and the company on the left. I think you can get rid of if you're trying to like emphasize on minimalism within your resume, I would take out the location. I don't think it's really like that important to know. Yeah. Let's see what else is in here.
What I would add, for example, for the first one, I would add some numbers. I would add some achievements, some numbers. For example, you were by implementing, a new analytical report, you were able to increase return on investment, by X amount. This would be great. Or you made expenses go down by X amount because you were able to analyze some data which was not
Mm-hmm.
analyzed before, and this way the company is able to invest more money into improving their products.
Yeah. Yeah. Here too, even like the last bullet point you see here, it says analyze current job costing. Maybe instead it would be a little bit more powerful. He said, utilize Python to analyze current, like how did you use that
Mhm.
tool?
Yeah.
And another great way to have your resume come full circle with your skills section to the experience section. But I definitely echo what you just said. Numbers, name drop the tools that you're proficient in, and it'll make more powerful statements.
Yeah. No,
If you
that's
do
for
that.
sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah, because when you can give numbers and also provide which platforms you use to obtain those
Mm-hmm.
numbers, to get the numbers, how you got it, it's going to be very powerful for the hiring manager to understand, your thought process of how you approach a job, how you do it.
Yep.
Okay, next one, administrative associate. FK advisors merged into CJBS as of January 2020. Here, 1 year sales analyst system to monitor
Mm.
FK advisors buyer. Again, I would try to add some numbers here, just be more full.
Yeah, I agree. The sections,
Yeah,
it does the trick. It's
yeah,
not anything super fancy, but it is clear, and does a good job covering everything that was done at this company. So
yeah.
I would add numbers too. I echo that.
Yeah, and as you can see here, working from 2018 to
Yeah.
2021, working from 20 to 18. That's
Mm-hmm.
great because you stayed in the company more than a year, more than 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, I mean, that's a big plus when you're applying for a job. Okay, so but the negative part of this particular resume, it's too
Oh my
big.
gosh, all of this great stuff, and it's
Yeah,
hidden on the second page.
on the second page.
Oh
Yeah.
no. Okay. All right. Well, as again, every hiring manager is different. Every single company is different. So the time spent on a resume, will really vary. But for me personally, I probably spend about maybe 20 to 30 seconds scanning resumes because you get hundreds of them, right? And you're trying to get to the meat and potatoes. Like with this, it was like, what tools do you know? For this, I probably would have skipped right past this with all of these great projects. So if I was this individual, I would have removed the last section on the top, shrunk
Mm.
down some of the bullet points, maybe, which is tough because there's only 3 to 4 each one. Or in the second one, I was, cut that down to 3, and I'd move those projects to the top.
Yeah.
Put your favorite project on the top. Yeah, that's a great part of the resume that I totally would have missed.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, just projects are great. Maybe also try to decrease the amount of bullet points. Maybe just try to see how you can make it
Mm-hmm.
smaller, so the resume will be one page or close to one page if you're not
Yep.
able to fit it. Education, great.
Yep.
I would probably take out the high school. I don't
Yeah.
really see the point of having
Agreed.
that. And college, you went to university. As I understand, you went first to community college and then
Yeah.
to full-time university. So I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, really you need to include the community college as well. Safe
Yeah.
space.
Yeah. I think for this again, I echo. I I care more about like what rabbit holes of courses you're going down in Web3 than like your high school education. I'd love to see that you're like actively learning, earning co-ops, doing these things within the space that are important to like an individual's career growth within Web3. Projects too, great opportunity to list your hackathons. I
Yeah.
feel like a lot of people miss the beat on that. I'd love to see the types of hackathons that this individual has participated in. There are non-technical opportunities at hackathons, so which I feel like most people don't know because sounds technical, like technical events.
Yeah.
But if you participated in a hackathon, a PFP project, putting up the DAO together, like that, all of that stuff. I care more about that stuff in here in this, in this resume than you'd assume. Just because I want to see, for me, if I'm hiring for this position, A, that you know the basic tooling and that you've done analyst work in the past, but B, you have a passion for Web3. You have to make sure that comes across in your resume. And these are all sections that you could do that in.
Yeah, that's a great point. Lacey, do you want us to go over one more resume?
I know, this was good. Maybe I'm thinking like we could do this twice a month, and maybe next time we do community mod, the time after that we can do I mean, we could like literally go down every single section.
Yeah, we can choose, we can ask our community to send in their resumes. For example, next event, just a small insight, will be about, community mods resume, because we have a lot of, we have a lot of people, searching for community mods jobs in our Discord channel, and we would love to help them. So let's just choose, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 great resumes from our community. I'm just
so we do have 2 questions I want to answer before we hop off. Can you review my resume? Absolutely. We have a channel in our Discord where it says #resume review. So if you click on it, you'll see steps to get a free review of your resume. It's super important that you have people you can rely on to get feedback on your resume. So please go to that channel in our Discord. And then secondly, what skills did we look for in the data analyst role? Transparently, we ended up not hiring for this. We actually put this role on ice. This was a really tough position to hire for, because I think it was, Alex can talk to this super intimately because he was going through all of the resumes, but it was a combination of skill with, we were looking for somebody with Python and SQL experience, and then passion for Web3, because we talked to people who had like a little bit of both, or some of one and none of the other. And with this, it was just as important that somebody had those skills to what their passion was, which in our eyes would have been Web3. Do you have anything to add to that?
And also do something from scratch, something that was never built before, and create something that will make a breakthrough in the industry. But we actually, I have to say, we did find a few great people that
we did
great resumes, and just in general, they were able to show us amazing work, and hopefully,
absolutely,
we're gonna get back to them once we're gonna open this roll up.
Yeah. So okay, so I think this was great. If you're tuning in and watching the recorded version of this, hi, welcome, and be on the lookout for this. I guess twice a month going forward. Events will be scheduled in our Discord.
Guys, before we end, I just want to say that in just about an hour and 20 minutes, we're gonna launch a great giveaway. It's gonna be a Twitter photo. It's gonna be super fun, super exciting. So just keep an eye, and Lacey will make a post. Keep an eye. It's gonna be great. Join and have
excited for that.
Yeah,
it's a fun photo contest. So cool. All right. Well, thanks, Alex, and thanks to everybody that tuned in. And we'll catch you on the Discord.
Sure. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.